Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM22 Career Mode, episode 118. Continue on with the Tour de France. First off, any stages that I carry out today, I apologize in advance if I really end up butchering them. I got a little COVID brain going on because I'm actually sick with COVID. I am on the mend. I'm on the recovery side of things. Definitely feeling a lot better, but still got a bit of that foggy brain going on at times, and multitasking has not been my best ally. And of course, in this particular Tour de France, multitasking has been very important, incredibly important, as we've been trying to navigate Tarascon in the breakaway and maintain position for Morgado, who currently leads the race overall, and Tarascon leads that King of the Mountains classification as well. So we are in such a wonderful position right now, and with only a single time trial for this entire race, and it's a mountain one, we can navigate things relatively easily. Only 2 hill stages, but 10 mountain stages. So the beginning of this race has been riddled with mountain stages already, on paper anyway. The first 8 stages is what we had profiled previously. Well, we're through that now. So what is the next phase? What is stage 9 and beyond, and what are we looking at to continue on with Tarascon's prospects and Morgado staying somewhere near the top? I don't expect him to finish on top of this at the end, but so far so good. Next up, stage 9 is another wonderful opportunity for Tarascon to go out and get some amazing points. There's 20 at the top here, with another 5 shortly thereafter, and then another 5 before you get into the final climb, where the leaders are probably going to have overtaken by that point. Another 10 points there, but that's a great opportunity for Tarascon, and a relatively easy day, as long as race day conditions work out, to navigate, stay alive, and keep position and not lose time on the stage for Morgado. 10, 11, totally flat. 12 is punchy, and we will take our chances on that one, quick sim wise. I'm not going to put as much effort into this as other races, though assuming we would still be in the lead, but I doubt there would be much of a time loss through there, and we're okay. Morgado is pretty punchy anyway. He should end up with a fairly good time, and there's not enough points to worry about for Tarascon. 13 is a punchier stage that has more KOM points involved, and depending on what our lead is at that point, I mean, there's a good 20 points to be had on the day, but I'll probably quick sim that one because it's not a big haul. 14 flat, not enough points there either, unless things are tight. 15 is another one of those opportunities. 10, and then 20 at the finish with that climb up the Colombier. That's a big one. That's a hard one. That's going to be a decisive one. Morgado could be in trouble on a day like that. 16 has a decent amount of points in there, but is one of those days where the field should come in together. But if you don't quick sim, you're going to see big gaps, and we could be down. So we might want to carry out with that one and let Tarascon go and kind of seal the deal, or maybe here on 17, if you can get up the Madeline first, that might be enough points at that point to secure the KOM, or going out on stage 18 with the Maribel, starting in Maribel, but the Roseland, a lot of difficult climbs, but it definitely gets easier and easier throughout the day. 19, nothing doing. 20, KOM. No points for the KOM. Not as much climbing as I thought there would be. There's a lot of regular time trial before you then only have a 6K climb at the end. That could be a day that Morgado loses a fair bit of time. I'm trying to think what his time trialing is like. I suppose I could check. And of course, 21. By that point, you're already KOM decided. 18 would definitely finalize KOM if necessary. And we pick up here on stage 9. Water task currently underway for Azumi, so we've got it. We're at just inside 100k, so we will need to get water again, but The big climb of the day is upcoming. Breakaway, 5-minute advantage, 19 riders. Taraskin was the first one in. Of course, we have that nice front row situation, but establishing took quite a while, took quite a bit of effort. But for Taraskin, and with the leader of the race, of course, being back in the Peloton, we don't have to ride. And that is such a nice thing to have happen, at least not with a group this size. And so we sit on 10K to go here on the climb. Taraskin just needs to hang on as this group dwindles down a bit. And then towards the top, we absolutely want to put everything into this one. I mean, there's only 5 points on the follow-up climb. There's 20 here. There's a difference of 20 to 15 from first to second. So getting first would be the key, even if possible, at all costs. 2 riders have already been dropped on their way back. The group is out to 7 minutes, by the way. So Peloton really, Jumbo-Visma has been leading things out, but not putting much of an effort into this thing right now. And we may need to commit somebody like, let's see, who can kind of climb of this group. A 68. Oh, 75. Yeah. So Coetzee. And then as we can take over protecting Morgado. We'll get Coetzee out there, setting just a simple pace, but just not allowing things to really blow up too much here. 74. Is that going to hold? Down to 16. You can see Taraskin struggling to keep up. 6K to go. Pace being set. There's teams with multiple riders in there. And you got some guys that are definitely pushing tempo. 5K to go for Taraskin. Back down here, Coetzee is definitely leading it out, pushing harder than the Jumbo-Visma guys are. It's out to 8 minutes. We just need to make sure it doesn't blow up too much is all. We'll eventually check and see where the time is at on these guys. There's a lot of time to do chasing. I'd rather have a full team chasing than be down to a couple guys and do the chasing now on the climb with so far to go to the finish line. Just keep it manageable. 3.5K. Taraskin getting close. Definitely has enough left in the tank to make a push. The pace is lifted a lot in this group. So whoever was really pushing it only has so much left in the legs now. With an 82 hills and 80 acceleration, Taraskin certainly should be competitive, but I don't know if that makes him the favorite to win this if the guys aren't more tired. Coetzee still leading the way. 8:46 will push just a little bit harder. 2K. I want to attack early. That usually does not go very well. .7. Okay, readying up. 1.5. We're just going to go effort up right now. Get to the front. Get that bike length without actually hurting myself. And now we're seeing the attack, and now we're going to attack a little bit later and a little bit gentler. And now 400 meters, full gas. Come on, Taraskin. Come on, Taraskin. Oh my gosh, those guys held on way too well. Taraskin, 73 points. Simmons has 61. Evenepoel, 45. That was definitely not first place over the top. We'll have to check on that one and see just how bad was it. Simmons went over the top first. Pinarello, Evenepoel. Wow, Taraskin was only 6th. I knew it wasn't great, but I thought we were 4th at worst. It was really tight. And we had very little red bar left, so those guys in that whole endless stamina situation, there was a lot of really good punchers in the field, though. 6 points, that's disappointing. Down to 15. I don't see the others coming back at all during this descent. We're going to go kind of straight into this next climb. Now 3.5K to go. Don't like how far back we are. We're going to have to move forward awfully quick on this one. Meanwhile, as we're hitting the top, Coetzee still leading it out. Have we dropped? No, Uri is fading, but there's 400 meters. He'll get a little recovery. And the gap's at 7, so actually he's starting to pull back. 2.7, so Taraskin, we got to think about going forward again at some point, and we have made that happen. 2.5K. Let's try this one a little bit differently. Go harder, deeper, earlier. 1.9, 1.8. This one's starting to hurt the red bar a little bit. That's a factor here, 1.4. But let's hope the other guys went too deep. Continuing to push, changing the outcome on the sprint capability of these guys. Taraskin can't go that deep. Oh man, we're going to get no points this time. This is what happens when you start trying to go head-to-head with riders of similar or better quality. You start struggling to score points at all. And if they're all in the breakaway too, then it's trouble. We need a lead-out rider with him next time. We need to start sending somebody with him. One guy is not going to be enough. And these three-man breaks are not happening. Big points losses today. Even with a +3. 89 left in the Peloton, and we still have everybody here as we go over the top. 8 minutes is the gap. Uri just gets dropped at the very top. That's okay, though, because he also managed to drop 32 other riders down to 54 in the Peloton and 71K to go. That's a pretty decent opportunity for someone to drop back and get us some water. Bach's a bit tired. We'll send Azumi back to get the water. That'll be the final time that we've got to worry about that. Taraskin, a little tired here, but you got to figure that the legs of some of these other guys is going to be a bit worse off. And 8 minutes, we're looking at a sure breakaway victory. We're going to have to check on what this is all going to look like. Let's see this group, see what the damage is. So 8 minutes is the advantage right now. Anybody within 8 minutes is now a threat on the jersey. 17, 17, 14, 7. So there's 649. Evenipol is the one and only threat to the jersey. Last of the riders just going over the top of the climb. That's how far we are spread out the entirety of the descent. And that was a rather lengthy descent. Azumi should just about be done with the water. Getting back to Coetzee, and Coetzee recovered. Let's get Bach in on the action up here, as Jumbo-Visma does not seem to want to reel this one back. So let's go ahead and switch that. We've got Miskauskis, Karaman, just to help for that final climb potentially. We'll let them just kind of sit on for now. So 14 riders and a lot of really good ratings. I mean, we're seeing 79s, 77s, but incredible flat ratings. And of course, Evenipol is working because he's now thinking about his position in the GC as well. And as much as we have that 80, they all have those bonuses that exceed what he has. Okay, well, this one's only a Cat 2. There's only 5 points, and you got to win it. So I'm not too worried about this one. I'm thinking about the next climb, thinking about the stage with Taraskin at this point. We'll want to come back at it for the final climb in particular. Ah, dang it, that chase group made it back up. Even with a 78 effort from these two, that chase group was able to get back on that quickly. That's what happens when there's no race support. Jumbo-Visma faking it, but they're definitely not putting in anything near the level we are. We are the only ones working at the front today. And we've managed to keep the gap just about right where it was. That's Bardet coming back. That's Asgreen. That's O'Connor. Jeez. That's who we dropped? That's crazy. Okay, we are trying to hold position here. We want to stay up with this group, but I really don't want to contest this unless we're getting to that last couple hundred meters and nobody has bothered. But we don't want to get dropped either. Yeah, here comes the big attack. Now just easy. Don't get dropped. Okay, now attack. Just to stay. And stay. There you go. Stay we did. And that only opened up a few seconds, and we've got enough of a descent to get the recovery on. And we finally have... Nope, that's Bardet and Asgreen. Bardet still didn't come back. Wow. 7:35, so yeah, we're actually pulling faster up the climb. We've got another minute to go, but the next climb we will easily do that. And that's going to be difficult to manage because we've got Terraskin also, who we would like to go for the points on. But again, at this point, I'm thinking more about the stage for him as just an individual achievement and worthy. Oh, come on. What just happened? McNulty, Gregoire, Johannesson, Richitello from 5th place, all attacking. That's why I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am. No, that's why I hate being in the break. That multitasking management. If somebody said something, I don't hear it. I don't hear the commentator at all. It's in my ear, but it's really not. I'm commentating. I cannot focus on that, and I definitely cannot focus on that currently. And how has Morgado been dropped? Seriously? My strongest guy, as we just went over a climb, my best descender, as we just went over a climb, have... Okay, well, these 4 are waiting for their leader. That's going to allow that 8-minute gap to open up a bit. There we go. Okay, now these 4 are going to regain contact up there real quick. Heading for the base of the climb anyway, we are going to have to set up the sprint train. Coetzee, Bach, Karaman, Miskauskis. Coetzee's probably first. No. Hey, look at that. Okay, we're going to... 81, 81, 82... 79, yeah, that seems about the way to do it. Bach's gonna sit put for a second. How are we doing on this climb? 4K to go. Terraskin still 14 riders. They've opened it up a good 30 seconds. Bach is kind of waiting on these back end guys to regain contact. Whoa. And they have. Okay. And we're at the base. So Bach is going to start pushing right away. 7K, and we want to go pretty hard, as we're seeing Enrique Mas trying to attack right now anyway. The attack is being negated, but of course we can't push this hard this long. As one rider gets dropped, 2K to go. Terraskin. We'll allow this to ease off and be something, and gel here as well. 4K to go. How's that gap doing? Not coming down by that much. Are you kidding me? A 95 effort, then a 99 without the red bar. Down to 8. Too many guys can't handle it. Bach. Karaman taking over. Azumi trying to get onto the back. And let's take these 2, put them on auto. Let's take this one and check in what happened. It's too late now. Make contact with those 3 guys. There's definitely some flat territory, but there's a minute and a half to the front too, which includes Evenepoel and Simmons. Are you kidding me? They went and got the max points. They've probably stolen the jersey from me. I didn't see what the total... I guess they wouldn't have stolen the jersey by now, but... that's way too much of a gap, and these guys don't care. Sit.
We've got 15 kilometers to the finish line.
Sit. The stage is gone. Stage is gone already. Gregoire, Johannesson, McNulty. Is there anybody else up the road? The Plus. That's all breakaway stuff. Yes. So we got 3 guys just ahead of us. $800 Those guys are not a threat. We have enough numbers to recover that. Just 35 left in the Peloton. But Evenepoel has enough of a gap right now. He does have enough of a gap. This last 18K we have to recover. As we drop 6 more riders, including Azumi. Would have been nice to have him for the end here, but that's okay. 24, 29, 23. It's yo-yoing a lot as we continue to push with these guys. Karaman is not a great downhill. What about Miskowskis? Miskowskis is so much better on the downhill. Let's gel up and flip this and go forward and go make up some ground. Just 11 seconds to those 3 guys. It's not like it's a big gap, and actually Ineos is now chasing even better than we are. 22 guys. And we've made contact. Now it's 25. So we got to keep pushing though, because we've got to recover. This group is gaining ground. So others finally decided to ride. And we're less than a minute behind. 2.7K. Oh, that's not catch this, rider. Really? It shows you have an assignment and you're not even trying. Wow. Okay. Everybody going. Sprint. Simmons wins ahead of Evenepoel, so he's going to gain 6 additional seconds. We get 4th behind Hershey, and now we can focus on these guys. 4.5K, so Morgado Gel. And Miskowskis, 4K out. Has chased it down to 650, but that's still not quite enough on Evenepoel. The only good news is this is going to knock Evenepoel out of the KOM situation here, as I can't even sprint. 2.3. We will lead out Morgado. We will lead out Morgado now. Karaman sprinting. And Morgado going. Can we get any separation in this group? We can beat this group to the line, maybe. Gregoire beats us to the line with the throw. Not that it matters, 15, but it helps cut down that time a little bit. But only just. I think the Jersey is getting passed to Evenepoel by a slight margin, which isn't a terrible thing. Simmons is also going to gain a lot of time, and he's going to be in a much, much closer to position. Actually, so is Taraskin, for that matter. It's going to be harder to get in a breakaway now for all 3 of those guys for the next little bit. Starting with the timings, Evenepoel finishes 6 seconds behind, but he's going to get a 6-second time bonus. So that'll put him right on the same time as Simmons, and we're not worried about his 10-second time bonus. Taraskin was a minute 11 behind, and I think he started out about 16, 17 minutes behind. He's going to gain about 5.5. That's not going to be that big of a threat. I think he's still at 12 minutes plus behind, which means he's far enough down that he shouldn't be a threat. Now, Simmons was about 14 down. He's going to gain 7. That makes him about 7 minutes behind. That might put him in the top 10, which could make it trickier for him. Now, Evenepoel, of course, he's gaining 6:45, and he was about 6:40 behind. He's right there with Morgado. He's right there in a podium spot, if not in the race lead. He is not going in a breakaway anytime soon. At least that has happened. We're going to see what the damage on the KOM, as today was terrible for Taraskin. He barely picked up any points whatsoever. But Morgado, Pogacar, the main contenders are here. This was a sizable group, and as predicted, I mean, it was not the kind of day that we were expecting to see big time losses. Vlasov losing a minute. I don't know where he was positionally, but as 3 Groupama FDJ riders are right there close to each other, I would imagine they were riding for Vlasov to help him pull back time. So it looks like he does lose a bit today. Was Carlos Rodriguez in contention? Might be. Shockman, I think, was up there a ways too. So there could be a few top 10 guys losing some time today, of course, being replaced potentially by a couple. All right, well, let's look at the GC side of it first. Morgado still leads with Pogacar and Evenepoel exactly 4 seconds behind. As much as I would have liked to have given the jersey to Evenepoel by 4 seconds or 1 second to put it on his team to have to control, I mean, at least we're not suddenly 10 minutes behind him. We managed the day much in the way we had to. Gregoire is still 15th. We're talking about pretty close gaps here. Johannesson, no sign. Vlasov does lose some key minutes today, as he was very much in contention. Tereskin is 10 minutes behind, so we are totally fine on that one. Tereskin adds only 9 points on the day. That's a terrible return for the points that were available. I mean, 6th best as completely not good. But we're looking at guys that are better than him in one or multiple regards. And with the bonuses, it was just too much. He could not handle it. I very much need to start getting him out there with a partner to at least lead him out to do the dirty work so that he's got a little something extra left. Even just not riding is not enough. The other guys are way, way too strong. And as a result, we have lost the jersey to Simmons by 4 points. At least we're still very much in it. We haven't suddenly found ourselves out of it. Simmons is still a problem, though, as he was nowhere near that top 20. Where he is timing-wise, I don't know. We'll have to look a little bit closer to figure that out. I guess that next upcoming stage we'll find out quick enough. But Evenepoel is going to be ruled out of the KOM for the short term. And that means suddenly you drop to Arietta and Hershey, Ayuso, guys that aren't going to be in that competition. So it's Tereskin and Simmons going 1-2 for this one, and Simmons is absolutely getting the better of us right now. He is a very, very strong puncher with the bonuses to his mountain. Tereskin's, matching at best. In fact, he would have been roughly matching without any race day condition bonus for Simmons. Just the difficulty bonus alone would have put us both at 80 mountain, and then he would have had 85 hills and 83 acceleration, 82 flat, 83 stamina. That was already better than what we had. And then if you add on a +1, a +2, a +5 for Simmons, you can see why we were beat pretty handily. We were definitely not on the same level he was. I would have liked him to have gained a lot more time than he managed to do. Finally found Simmons. It took me like 3 times to go through. He sits 30th at 11 minutes down, so he's a minute behind our own man Tereskin, just a couple positions down on him. Carlos Rodriguez is out there as well now. Arietta is down there, so those guys, Buitrago at 10 minutes down, having one of his career best finishes. What was that? At Liège-Bastogne-Liège in real life the other day, finishing I think 4th place. Just starting to show up as that guy. I mean, in game 27, but we're 6 seasons in. So, in real life, we're talking about a 21, now maybe 22-year-old who is already starting to look like the rider he's coming along. Morgado still leads the under 25s, and we lead the team classification. I mean, things are generally good, but that was a pretty rough stage. At least for Morgado, it was okay. But Tereskin, rough day, especially on the Quinn Simmons part, who made up a ton of ground and took the jersey away from us and looks incredibly dangerous. And unlike Evenepoel, who is still in a great position overall and finally finds himself in a can't join a breakaway situation. But of course that invites him back into the GC conversation and makes him difficult there, but he's not really a contender for that, but you never know. Incredible rider. But the Quinn Simmons for Tereskin is super dangerous, and not happy with where we're at on that one at the moment. And that was definitely not a COVID issue. I mean, that little attack that we missed that was. I mean, him getting a minute away at the top there, we've got 2 split groups, and micromanaging was difficult for me. Maybe that could have been avoided, but them beating Terraskin to the top of the climbs was just purely down to they were better. They were better than Terraskin. He's good, but he's not that good, and maybe we're looking at a second place in that KOM going forward. Plenty more points out there. We may need to play around with fighting like crazy to make sure Simmons doesn't get in a break, and then sending Terraskin to make sure he does, and going out and getting the points. But of course, there's others. There's others that want in on it too, that are almost equally as good as Quinn Simmons and are incredibly capable of scoring a massive amount of points. It's going to be tough going forward. It really is. We got Terraskin in a good way early, but more and more riders that have been distanced that are as good or better than him on paper are now contending for a jersey that feels a little bit out of reach at the moment. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.